Evening, everybody. It's 7:20 almost, and there will be no daily note tonight. I was swamped this afternoon and just got off one of several um, conference calls, and I'll be back first thing in the morning. But this is your closing comment. It is video number 1304 for this Wednesday night, June the 1st. Okay, so we started to the upside this morning on decent moves in the futures, and of course, the big push came from CRM, Salesforce. Last night, when I got on when I did this call, CRM had beaten, and the stock was 172 and change, and it was up 720 or 4.4%. Tonight, however, after trading as high as 184.42, it closed at 175.70, and that was up 15.46 or 9.8, so twice the move of last night. That helped the Dow first thing this morning. The Dow was up roughly 282 at the high, and then the numbers came out for several items that were seen as negative. Um, the April construction spending was a big miss. The Fed Beige Book was less than expected. The JOLTS job openings were down, and the IHS manufacturing PMI was about unchanged, and the mortgage index was down another 2.3%, so that was taken as a negative. We got all the way down to minus about 400, so we had basically a 700-point range by noon. Later on in the afternoon, we started to move back up, and it was actually a pretty good rally. Had it not been as same as yesterday, had it not been for the last 15 or 20 minutes of sell-off, the Dow actually went positive, but it closed down 176.89, down about a half a percent. The Nasdaq was also higher on the day, finished down 86.93 or 0.7%. S&P down 0.75% at down 30.92. The Russell did very little, was only down $9 or less than half a percent, and the Dow Jones Transport's down 106.40, and that was 0.7%. What was interesting to me, though, today was that even though the market closed down, so did the VIX, and that was kind of a surprise. The market internals were negative. They were 3-2 to the downside on the NYSE. They were 1.7 to 1 down on the Nasdaq, and the volume shrank from yesterday's almost 5.6 billion down to 4.6 billion. So roughly a 20% decline in the volume today. As far as futures go, the oil was up 60 cents, the gold was up 30 cents, Bitcoin gave back half of yesterday's gain, closed 30,035, down 16.15. The dollar was up 76 cents. Bonds were down about 0.75%, and nat gas, which I'll get to in a second, was up about 55 cents. This chart on the screen here is the oil. And, it hit 120 or 119.98 yesterday and finished near the low. And then today was up 59 cents, and tonight is slightly lower, down $1.62. All well within the realm of a decent move, a recovery, a pullback, another edge higher, and then another pullback. This has really ridden the 5-day moving average here, and we still haven't come anywhere near the 20-day. 20-day is down at 109. We're currently trading 113.64. But the chart that I'm especially pleased with is up again tonight, is the nat gas. And I know everybody knows the nat gas story. Certainly, I've told it enough times, but uh, we came down. This was kind of interesting because we came down hard yesterday, and we were down 58 cents, which is, not overwhelming when you consider that we traded almost $9.50 uh, just the other day and came right back down. And actually, on that $9.50 day, we actually traded below nine and closed at 8.89 and then followed through to the downside. What was interesting here today was we didn't even make a new low. Even though we closed on the low, we did not make a new low. Let me make this a little bigger for you. We did not make a new low, which was really surprising that we actually traded higher. We had bounced off that 20-day moving average and started right back up. And while today would be called indecisive because it was an inside day, higher low, lower high, it did close pretty much on the top. And tonight it's again, let's see, today's high was 879.10. Tonight's high is 878.30. So it hasn't made a new high yet. What I really want to see is a close over this 899.30 to get us moving back to the upside. I'll show you what it looks like on the weekly because I think it's even more impressive. This is actually would be a new closing high on a weekly basis if we closed right where we are right now. So earnings after the close. Yesterday we had CRM with a beat. Today we had a bunch of misses. Although CHWY, kind of interesting. CHWY, which is down from 120, closed 23 and a half today, 23.49 down $1.31. Beat and gave pretty decent guidance, and the stock immediately traded $30.26. I have the last at 28.01. That's up 320 or 12%. Remember, CHWY has a huge short interest. I already told you about CRM up 9.8%. There's another one, PSTG. PSTG is Pure Storage, and it has been hanging around in this area, right around the 22, 23, $25 area. It closed regular hours at 24.01, which was up 28 cents or 1%. And on the earnings, traded all the way up to a high of 27.43. The last is 26 and a half, and 26 and a half is up 277 or about 11%. So a nice move. On the downside, though, we had a former darling, C3AI. Everybody remembers this deal. It came out, never traded below 100, traded much, much higher. And it had a high right after that debut of 183.90, came down back into the 115 area, and then made a lower high at 176. Well, today it closed at 1855, down 37 cents or 1.96%, but the earnings were just horrendous. I mean, it was a huge miss, and the stock traded as low as $14.15. So regular trading, 1855, then it trades down to 14. The last is 1467, and that's down 4.25 or 22.5%. So pretty ugly. Again, it's another one of these technology not making money, not giving great guidance, and getting punished. I mean, the stock is down from 183 to 14 and a half or 15. That's 95%. So that's pretty ugly. As far as the futures tonight, we have the oil down $1.74 and the nat gas up 5 cents. We have the gold up 90 cents and the silver down 75 cents. Um, the reversal in the coffee has really been tremendous. I'm taking a little more time with this because I won't have the daily note to do, but I pointed out this Head and Shoulders top, and we broke the neckline, but really couldn't stay below it. So we had a left shoulder, a top, and a right shoulder. And we did break the neckline and we did come down, but it really failed to break through prior support. And one of the most explosive ways for something to act is when you have a failed Head and Shoulders top, because you can imagine everyone was getting short in here, figuring, we were going back down to $1.85. Not so. We bottomed here about a week ago at 211, and today we closed 239, and we did in fact break the high of the right shoulder. So that's negated. I would not be the least bit surprised to see it test 260. We still own our position in JO, which is the ETF for it. We're in around, I believe, 36.96, and we sold half of it at around 64, and we are currently 65 and a quarter at the close tonight, and that was up about $2. All right, everyone. I'll be back first thing in the morning. Have a good evening. Hope everybody had a good day today. And I still believe the market is working higher. I'm not the least bit surprised to see these kind of ranges, but I think we're still leaning towards 4,200 on the S&P.